Hey. So I wanted to go to the post office, but I think it's gonna rain. So we might have to drive. We're gonna go there because I have a lot of packages to ship. So yeah, let's go to the post office. Let's go. Oh my! Is this a good? It's not a good angle. Fuck. I just wanna have a little fun. Have a little girl fun, have a little, just a little play, just to see what could happen. Because I have nothing else to do. And you know, sometimes I wake up and you just wake up and you kind of know, oh, today might not be fun. You kind of just already wake up feeling that way. And when you do something like this, it's kind of like helping you romanticize it a little bit. Am I covering something? And it just is, it's kind of a little bit more fun, like it's already making the day a little bit more eventful and giving me something to do. So it's just for fun. Let's get out of here, shall we? Okay, we're here. That was so fast. It was recording for 2 minutes. Wow. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's go get Bay. Didn't look as... You scared me. I'm vlogging. Okay, well, we're at the CVS and we love to come here to play. Like, we're always playing in these aisles. But he's just putting on a show. But I'm gonna get a Dr. Hey guys, so it's a different day and I'm here to refilm because the initial day that I was like taking videos of everything, I didn't really have a plan. I didn't have anything to help me film what I was going to be doing with the nails. I just kind of like winged it and set it on top of my light, and it looked like shit. So I want to refilm it because I got like a little tripod thing to help me film, and wow, she's changing my life. Like already it's been what, like 3 days, and I'm like, girl, I owe you everything. So I'm gonna refilm it because all the techniques and like things that I do on this hand were implemented on the first 5 fingers on the other hand that I initially filmed that looked like shit. So I'm just gonna refilm it and hopefully it'll be a lot better, a lot more helpful. But yeah, that's why I look a little bit different. We're doing things a little bit differently here. Hey guys, we're in tutorial mode. These are the first 5 nails that I initially filmed. They look really cute. I ended up remaking the middle finger because the charm in the center didn't come out how I wanted it to. But here they are before she got cut. Hey guys, a little bit of a voiceover here. Let's go. So I started out with painting the bases milky white color and then using some Beetle's black gel polish. And I'm just going over the black gel polish with a, what's it called, non-white top coat, I think. It's Beetle's top coat. I really like the Beetle's top coat for chrome. And then there's another brand that I really like for just like actual top coat and sealing. I'll put a photo of it up because I don't remember what it's called, but I just started using it and it's really nice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Top coat. And then top coat on the pinky finger. I'm just gonna be here watching from the sidelines, and I'll chip in when I want to tell you what's going on. But yeah guys, we're doing the same thing. It's just top coat. And I try to get it really smooth. Sometimes there's like little dust specks, and then if you cure it with that, it'll get all textured. Same with like doing ombres with sponges, which is what I'm doing here. I just have like these stickers that I use to take all the like sponge, the top layer of residue off the sponge, so then when I use it, it doesn't get any of the sponge flakes in the polish, you know?
It's really useful, so that's what I just did there. So now I'm taking this light blue color, it seems. I like to apply the polish on the sponge rather than directly on the nail, because sometimes when I put it on the nail directly, it gets all streaky. But when I do it on the sponge and then apply it to the nail, it comes out a little bit more blended. So I prefer to do it that way. And then on the same sponge, I'm just using this like hot pink color. I like to try to conserve as much material as possible, especially these like disposable makeup sponges. So I just put like multiple colors on the same sponge, and I probably show it later, but I like cut the tips off so that I can keep using it until it's like down to the edge. You'll see, you'll see. Here's the chrome that I use. It's just a silver chrome from Amazon. Maybe I'll link it. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can find it. I like bought this when I first started doing nails. I'll go back. I'll look for you. But it's pretty good, you know? And that top coat, the Beatles top coat, ooh, she is nice. So I'm just applying the silver chrome over the top of that black polish, and you can do just a clear coat if you want without the black polish underneath, but the black polish really helps that silver chrome look more opaque. I've done silver chrome application without a black base coat. Black base, yeah, you get it. And it's a lot more sheer. And you kind of need like multiple layers of chrome. So I like the black base because it just really makes it look nice. And I have this little makeup brush that I use to wipe it off. Sometimes I use a sponge, but I don't like to always use a sponge because then the chrome gets mixed in with the polish and it's like a mess. So I just use the brush, but also that brush is getting really full of chrome dust and I don't like it. So I need to clean it. Okay, back at it, just doing another layer of polish on this little ombre nail. Um, the reference photo for the color palette was the Birth of Venus, or I think so. I think that's what it's called. Um, and there were lots of like pastel colors. And my trick for like ombres and sponges is to use a color darker than what you want it to show up as, for the most part. Sometimes that's not the case, but I wanted like kind of light pastel pink and blue. And if I used the like color pink that I wanted to show up on the nail, it would have been too light, and same with the blue. Oh, here I am cutting the sponge. You see, you get it, you get it. So I just used like a shade darker than what I wanted to show up on the nail. And then because it blends out, it ends up looking like that initial color, even though the polishes I used are like a shade darker. Same with this green. This green looks really dark, but when you blend it out, it's like a lighter green. Does that make sense? I hope so. But yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I just cut that part of the sponge off because I was done with it, and now I'm doing green and yellow, I think. It'll show the yellow later. Um, got a little speck of something. It's smeared a little bit. I was like, ooh la la, let's just wipe that off. Kind of annoying, but it happens. Okay, yeah, see, when you want yellow, I have like a really pastel yellow that I wanted it to look like, but if I use that, it'd be too light. So I used this like sunflower yellow, and it came up looking exactly how I wanted it. Same here. Once I was satisfied with the kind of ombre that I'd made, I'm just doing the Beatles top coat to be able to do some chrome, and here is the chrome action. Having a little difficulty getting that cap off, am I right? But I think I chose a pink chrome, or it was orange. I was going for a yellow one and I picked up the wrong one, but I was like, okay, this could be cute. So I just stuck with it, and it ended up being like this kind of chrome that gave off like an orange glow when you looked at it in the light. I don't know if those are the right words. See, it's orange. Heh. That was me. I was like, ooh, I don't know about this, but it ended up looking cute, so I left it. Okay, and then for this nail, I ended up picking up the right chrome. This is the one I intended to use for the first nail. It's just like a yellow shimmer. It's really pretty, but I like the way the orange turned out. It's a nice compliment. But this one I was using the yellow, and see, it just kind of transforms the nail. I don't really know what's going on here. I guess I was deciding to do okay, okay. See, it's a little tricky sometimes. I ended up doing a yellow and pink kind of ombre blend. I don't know, it looked cute. So I did that on the same sponge and then using top coat. I have so many beetles top coat because they just get so like messy with chrome and like just sparkly, and it's really annoying. So I always have to buy new ones. But recently I found that other top coat, and I feel like it does a better job of not picking up chrome flakes. I don't know how that's possible, but it's just my truth. And also, it has like a different colored cap, so I think my brain is listening more. Okay, I'm like wiping down the surface with alcohol, so sorry. um, my brain just knows not to use that with chrome. I like know that that one is designated for only final finish touch, like, and normally chrome is not involved. But anyways, yeah, I just wiped down the counter with alcohol to pick up the chrome flakes, but that was pretty like counterproductive because I'm like using more chrome. I should have waited. I don't know. I just was not thinking. But yeah, this is like a green chrome. It has like a green shine. This was like one of the first chromes I ever got. It's pretty. I like the blue more from this pack of 4, but the green, she's cool. She does what she needs to do, you know? Okay, so here are all the nails together. I think they look so pretty. Like, each chrome that I chose really complements one another. It's really pretty. I really like it. So now I'm picking up this middle finger. I don't know what's going on yet. Oh, okay, so chrome, I don't I don't really remember what the okay, I chipped her a little bit. I don't remember what the order is. I just kind of do it all to make sure that hopefully the chrome will stick, because sometimes, you know, you make press-ons and you have a chrome base and then you notice after a couple days the chrome is like chipping away and you're like, what the hell? I don't understand. And then I saw like a video that if you file around the free edge and then do a top coat and then do another layer of chrome and then file, I literally don't know. I don't know the order. I just do it all to make sure that hopefully, not to make sure, but to cross my fingers and hope that it lasts like much longer than those couple of days if you just do like chrome and then a top coat over it and don't do anything else. It tends to chip. I don't know if what I just said made sense, hopefully. But yeah, I basically just do like a couple layers of chrome and file around the edges. Cause I swear I saw somewhere that it helps. And I pray. I hope it does. Because I have had sets before that are, oh my freaking god, sorry about that. I've had sets that have a chrome base and they chip, and it makes me sad. And also, people are paying a lot of money for these, so I don't want that to happen because that, like, what are you paying for then? So I just do this to ensure that it lasts a lot longer. Doing it on the pinky too. Yeah. And like I said, here's me filing around that nail, hoping that I'm putting in the right work, and we're gonna do another layer of chrome. I also think 2 layers of chrome always just looks a lot brighter and better because you have that black base underneath and then you do another layer on top of the chrome and it just brightens it up. So I really like that. Like you saw with the top coat on, I know there were like sparkles in it, but it just looked really dark. But now you have this, and then when you do a top coat over it, it stays looking like that. So I really like doing 2 coats of chrome, just like you would do 2 coats of polish. For smaller size nails, I always take them off the stand and like file around the edges just to make sure that they're not getting like built up polish on the sides, because sometimes that happens because my nail stands are kind of, they're like not big, but the nail itself is small and can't like cover it entirely sometimes, so polish will drip down on the sides, and like when you cure it, it gets built up and it just creates like texture or raised surface, and you don't want that. So I always kind of check on them and pull them off the stand and file around the edges just to make sure there's no buildup. Here I wanted to make like a gemstone center, but I didn't have any charms that would do the trick, so I'm using this light blue polish and creating this gemstone kind of shape on the center, just painting it. I'm making it a little bit thicker, not too thick, but uh, a little bit thick, and it's not symmetrical. It's just, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a gemstone. She's organic. You get it. But I'm doing this, and I'm gonna cure this for only 30 seconds rather than a minute so that it's still a tad bit tacky, because when you do it for 30, it's still tacky on the surface. So the chrome sticks like in a really nice way. It's like it's textured almost and just really sparkly, and it looks really nice. So I'm redoing the blue on top, and I'm gonna cure it for 30 seconds, and then see, it sticks. Like, it's like shiny. It's really nice. Um, yeah, look at that. It looks so good. So I went with that and then brushed it off, the excess chrome, and I'm taking my hard gel, my IBD gel, I think it's called. It's from Amazon. And I'm just taking this on a brush and getting a little dollop on the brush. And I'm gonna kind of do a bubble on top almost to just accentuate the shimmer. Like, I don't know, it looks so nice. I love doing this. And just starting with like a small circle, and then I wipe the excess off my brush and start to kind of pull at the edges to fit the shape that I made when I painted. Um, I think working with less is so helpful with this stuff. I used to try to start with as much, because you see these photos of sets and they like have all these like crazy designs, and you're like, oh, you must have to use like a lot of hard gel to get it that like thick and defined. But I think starting with a little and then doing multiple layers and working up to that thickness like really makes a difference. Okay, so I'm taking some clear gel. This stuff has chrome all in it. I don't really care. I use the clear gel when I know I'm gonna be painting over it. I have like another jar of clear gel that is like no chrome. I don't touch it with chrome gloves. I like, but I'm just rolling it out into this little snake, and then I'm starting to wrap it around that polish that I kind of made into a gemstone, so it has like this raised surface, and just wrapping it around, because I wanted to paint chrome over this. So, and then I'm taking this little sculpting tool and kind of making it perfect and making sure that it fits around the gem and that it looks really nice and is smooth and looks how I want it to. Once I have that section how I like it, I'm rolling out another little snake. That's what they called it when I did pottery. I think that's helpful. And I'm just wrapping this around the edge and kind of pulling on it to stretch it out so it's not too thick when I get to like a thick part of the snake. Okay. And just wiping that, what the hell, wrapping it around. And now I'm coming in with some chrome over this. This was really nice, satisfying. It looked nice. It's always like smart to think about how you're gonna do your chrome, especially if you know you want to work with two different chromes, because if you have a chrome base already and then layer another chrome on top, that second layer of chrome is not gonna stick to where the first layer of chrome is because it already has chrome on it. If you know, you know. If it makes sense, it makes sense. I'm so sorry if it doesn't. Um, so I'm like doing a second layer of chrome, and you can see none of the silver chrome is sticking to where that yellow chrome is on the base, but it is starting to stick to where that hard gel was in the center when I put it on top of the polish to make the gemstone. So it'll show it later, but I just take a little lint-free wipe and put alcohol on it and wipe it and take my time trying to get all the excess chrome off of it so you can still see the blue underneath. It's kind of tricky sometimes. It gets a little like slippery, and you kind of have to find the right place to get it off because it's so like just like stuck to the IBD gel, because that stuff is sticky. Even when you cure it, it's like tacky. And sometimes people ask me, they're like, how do you not make your stick? Like, mine is so sticky even when I cure it. Babe, put a top coat on it. Like, please do not send that out because it's just so tacky and sticky. And if you're making like shapes that you want really defined, and you find that doing the hard gel and then a top coat on top kind of not helps, makes you lose that defined shape, you can just use a brush and kind of paint it on strategically. I've done that before, and it works really well, and then you still have that really defined shape that your gel made, your hard gel. And then there were some sections on here that the eyeshadow applicator wasn't getting into, so again, just taking this tool and putting some chrome on the tip and pushing it into those areas where I could still see some of the black and clear top mixture that I made earlier peeking through, just to make sure she is good and loaded with chrome. Here is me doing a top coat with the top coat that I really like, and I just put some on, but I knew that there was like chrome kind of floating around and I didn't want to mix it into my top coat, so I'm using another Beetles like applicator, like brush, that I just got out of an old bottle and wiped with alcohol to spread out the top coat that I really like. Moving on to this thumb, this is one of the clamshell thumbs. I wanted to do a water texture, so the way that I do it personally is take a milky white and spread a really, not really thin, but a fairly thin layer over the entire nail. Make sure it's consistent, even. Um, but you can still see the color coming through. This is a good clip of what I mean. Consistent and even, it looks nice. And you're gonna want to get some top coat ready. I'm gonna do that soon. I'm taking my freaking sweet time on this nail. But you're just gonna want any clear top coat, get some of that out onto like a palette, and you're gonna want a dotting tool. I'm cleaning mine right here with alcohol. And we'll just wait. Okay, I got it. I just used the cap as a palette. And I'm just laying down these circles, these little dollops of top coat, and it starts to spread, and like, I don't know, it just gives off the water texture, You know. You get it. Just look at it. It's happening. And sometimes I like to pull the circles a little bit, like when I lay it, kind of pull it so that it is more oval shaped rather than circle. But other times I don't really care, and it kind of spreads out on its own and does its own thing, and I just go with it. So that's kind of what I was doing here. So now that this is cured, I'm taking some white polish, like solid white, opaque white, and it's out of focus right here and I'm really shaky. Oh my god. But I am just kind of like outlining some of the circles to give it like more depth a little bit, so that lighter white looks like a shadow and this is like opaque, and just giving it some dimension. But I'm going around and doing that, and I'm using the brush. I think I'm shaky because I'm trying to like feather it out a little bit so that it looks like foam, like some sea foam or something. But I'm just doing this randomly on places that I think it would look nice. And later on, I think I'll show it. I just took a sponge and also blended stuff out. And I ended up doing this multiple times to kind of build up the depth of the nail, I guess. And going around the edge to kind of, like I said, give off like a sea foam kind of look. And the texture of the sponge is really nice for this. It kind of is speckled and porous. It looks nice, like foam. I'm just doing that strategically all around the edge of the nail and blending it out so that it kind of has a nice fade and looks nice. Here I'm starting on the clamshell design. I'm starting with these small dollops. Like I was just talking about, or I don't know what the order of my voice clips will be in, but I'm starting with a small little like drop and then wiping the excess off and dragging it towards the center of the top of the nail. Starting with a little really will help you out. I think if you start with a huge glob and then try to manage that and work with it, it's just really difficult because this product is so flowy and flexible, and like it moves a lot. So I like to start with these thin layers. Yeah, I'm just doing really thin layers, mapping out where I want these lines to be. When you get to the outer edges, you can I don't know if this is easy to do when you're beginning, but like you can start to kind of feel like the gel will hold its shape if you do the like perfect amount. So for these outer lines, I kind of just use a little bit more and rely on my brush to create that line. Oh my god, I don't know if that made sense. But see, I'm like doing the dollop and then I don't even like fully set it down and just start to drag it out, and the product moves really seamlessly with the brush and makes like, this line that starts from thick and moves out to thin, and it's it just kind of makes things a little faster for those outside lines. So I'm moving into my second layer of the hard gel with the clamshell, and now I'm starting to use a bit more product, but I'm also not going too crazy because if you use more product, you're more prone to air bubbles as well, and I really hate air bubbles and how they look on nails. So I just try to stay working small, and build it up to avoid air bubbles. And yeah, so I have all these little dots, wiping the excess off and starting to pull. And when I have an air bubble, I try to like target it and pull to make it come out. See, I'm pulling on it because I don't want that in there. Get away from me. And it's gone. And I'm just doing this to the rest. And like I said, a lot more product here. You can kind of see how it pools. Like I'm trying to pull it to make sure that it doesn't create bigger lines than what I mapped out originally. Sometimes if it pools too much, I'll take a sculpting tool, I'll probably show it later, and kind of wipe it using the tool, um, just to control it a little bit more. But yeah, that's the second layer, and you can already see that it's starting to build up and look a lot more like the clamshell. And if we had tried to do this amount like in the first run, I think it just would have gotten so messy and hard to work with. So working with less product and building up has been really uh, helpful. That's the word. Clamshell, here we are, layer 3. It's pretty time consuming, but I think it's worth it. It always looks so nice. I'm just doing these the same hoopla? What the hell? The same thing that I did last time. Building it up. Let's go. So, yeah, just that third layer, man. Look at that. It looks so much better. Just so defined. So clamshell-esque. Like, ooh, she's here. Clamshell, she's done in my eyes and ready for charms. So I'm using my rhinestone glue and these pearls. Applying a good amount of rhinestone glue and using like a little tool to apply the pearls in the order that I wanted them. Once I cured that in the lamp for like 10 seconds to get the glue to harden, I'm taking the IBD gel and just encapsulating, holy shit, encapsulating all the charms, especially the pearls, because those, I don't know, when I first started making sets, I did not do this. I would just put a top coat on, call it good, and then people would reach out and be like, the charms, like the pearls and the chrome balls, like the silver little balls, they're like wiped off, like they just come off. So it's just like on the surface, this iridescent paint, that's gonna chip off if you don't seal them in. And once I started doing this with just hard gel over them, I haven't had that problem, so I always do that with my charms. Here I am doing the top coat on the clamshell. I'm using the applicator brush with the bottle because this didn't have any like free chrome floating about. So yeah, and like I said, the top coat kind of fills in some of the space that the hard gel makes, so the clamshell really just kind of becomes seamless and smooth. But if you wanted to keep those like defined shapes, you could just go in with a brush and like a small detail brush and paint on the top coat strategically in places that you want it, so that it's not pooling in the sides and the cracks and making it smooth. Yes, there she goes. Okay, bye. I'm moving on to the middle nail. This one, I wanted like a 3D design that just kind of had like some hard gel elements, and then I don't really know how to explain it. Let's just look at the picture, shall we? Okay, so yeah, I just wanted 3D designs, and it would all be chrome and maybe some like pearl accents. So I am just starting again with a really small drop of hard gel, and if you want to do something like this, just go slow. Like that was one thing that was really crazy for me. I remember when I was starting out and I would watch like Instagram tutorials, and those are like sped the fuck up, and I was like, how do people work so fast? Like, I didn't realize that people like speed shit up. I'm probably speeding stuff up. But if you're doing this, I work really slow. I'm like doing a really thin layer. Again, I'm like trying to map out where I want stuff and get this first layer to look like pretty solid to how I want it to look in the end. And then once I have that perfect base, like mapped out for where I want the hard gel to go, then when you start going into your second layer and your third layer, you can start using more product and kind of moving faster because it's already mapped out. But for this first layer, I'm just being really careful and using really small amounts of product to kind of see how I want this design to go and where I want it to be. And again, working with this is kind of tricky. I think it takes a lot of practice. But one tip is that I think dragging it is really helpful. If you try to paint with it, it you like can't, even if you have a small amount, it's gonna get like how do you say, like jagged edges, like it's not gonna be smooth. Okay, I'm still talking, we've moved on, but just go slow, pull, do a dollop, and then pull on that dollop to paint. Like that is how I do it. Oh, this nail, I don't even want to talk about her right now because I had a lot of trouble with how I wanted this nail to go. This was my first attempt at a design. This one I was still like going for what the sketch had. I was like, "Oh, I need to do this." I honestly could have painted with the metallic paint and then built on top of that and then did chrome on top of that. I don't know. I was just having a lot of trouble with the size and like the angles of the curves and having, I know I talk a lot about symmetry. I'm like, symmetry? Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to be perfect, girl. I want this to be perfect. Bae, I don't know who's here, but I wanted it to be really symmetrical and it wasn't. So it was really frustrating and I kept messing up and trying again, and yeah, it's not all it's not all easy going over here. You know what? That's slice of reality pie. I don't know. I freaking mess up too sometimes. Not sometimes, a lot. I That's why I go through so many tips. It's so annoying. Like I try to save them and like repurpose them, and I did end up saving this tip and not having to use another one, but sometimes woo, I mess up really bad and I'm like, shit, I gotta start over, and it sucks because it's kind of like the only thing that sucks about it is just time. Like it just takes a lot of time. Um, but it's also really comforting to know that you can start over. Like you do not have to be perfect on this first run. Like, girl, you got a box of tips right there. Pull them out and start over. It's okay. So this is just me flopping this design I didn't stick with, but I was trying. I was trying really hard. The top is just uneven, and I knew that. I knew that looking at it. I was like, God damn, guys, like please help me. It was hard. Oh, that's like another thing. I'm not doing everything at once. I might have said that. I don't know. But I cured it so that I could like have I could take my time. I didn't have to worry about the product spreading. I cured it when I had the first part of the design that I liked, and now I'm just moving into the second part of mapping out the design. This is still the first layer. Like I think it makes sense. I don't know why I have to over explain everything. Another thing that I think is kind of helpful, I don't know, maybe this is common sense, but you can move that nail around. Like it doesn't have to stick to the stand and like only be accessible from one angle. Like I pick that thing up and twist it all the way around. I don't know, maybe it's common sense, but when I was watching videos again starting out, I was like everyone holds it straight. Like, and also when you work on people, you can only have it from one angle, which holy cow, I don't know. I used to do my friends' nails sometimes, and like when I realized that I couldn't like twist their fucking finger backwards, I was like, yo, like I don't I don't think I can give you what you want, baby. Like, this is crazy. It just takes so long when you're working on people. Um, but yeah, when you're doing press-ons, you can pick that stuff up and flip her, turn her backwards. You get it. Um, but on people, yeah, you can't do that. So pick her up. Come on, don't be scared. It's so easier. It's so easier. Jesus, it's a lot easier when you have access from multiple directions and angles. Here it's kind of off camera, so sorry about that. But like I said, I just like had too much product, and it I think it might have started to touch in like spread, so I just used that sculpting tool to drag it off the end of the nail and kind of skinny up the line and keep her on track, you know? That was my map right there, and now I'm just starting with my second layer and starting to build up using a little bit more product to get that texture and like raised surface, doing a dollop and then dragging it out, dragging it down the length of this little shape. I don't know, it looks like a question mark. It was cute. I think when working with this also, I'm noticing while watching myself, working with a clean brush, holy shit, not this girl again. Working with a clean brush, um, to kind of reshape and like fix things is really important. If you try to go in with product still on your brush, it's gonna get stuck to it and not move the way you want it to. So just always having a clean brush to help will help. You hear me? You get it. Okay, this beauty, she's back. Oh, okay, so I guess I ended up finishing here and I was like, yeah, she's good. She's like built up enough. So I did my Oh, I remember this. I remember this. Okay, so this is when I discovered that that red cap top coat is not my favorite for chrome because I wanted to do this design and then get a really thin, even layer of top coat on it so then I could do chrome again. And then it's like this, like, there's like no creases or edges. It's like just texture coming through something. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And I used that red cap top coat when I always use Beetles because I was like, well, it says it's non-wipe. I don't know, maybe I like just got it, so maybe I'm like not curing it for long enough or not knowing how she works because it did work. I used it on some nails. You just have to wipe it with alcohol first, which is so annoying. Um, but yeah, so just use Beetles top coat if you want to do chrome on top, and then use the red cap if you want to cure and call her good. So just pretend I did that because that's what I wanted to do because I wanted to do another layer of chrome and I thought it would be so pretty. I thought it would look like her dress, just like draped and like I said, like texture underneath something. Yeah, you get it. Again, just really taking my time here because you know if you pool too much top coat and don't wipe it away and like smooth it out, you're gonna lose that detail. Um, so I'm just making sure it's really thin and consistent. So here I am trying to stick chrome to this. Um, yeah, it just was not, she wasn't really giving, and it was because I didn't wipe her. Or maybe it is giving right here. I don't know. That new top coat is tricky. I love Beetles. She never does me wrong with chrome on top. I guess it was kind of working. Whatever. Disregard what I said, I guess. But don't, because I believe it. But yeah, I was just doing another layer of chrome. It looks so pretty. Like, it just smooths everything out. It looks so nice. I really liked how this looked. And again, just using my sculpting tool to get into all those little cracks and make sure that the chrome was getting in there, so that it looked flawless and seamless. Now I'm just using my rhinestone glue to put those charms on. I think I just did some pearls. I might have done diamonds too. Diamonds? Ha! Rhinestones or something? You get it. Again, using the hard gel to kind of go over the charms to make sure that they don't chip away or, you know, lose any of their iridescent shimmer. And now top coat for her. She looks good. I love her. I love you. You're good. Okay, finally her demise. I was like, get away from me. I don't like you. So I just took these old cuticle clippers that I have and I'm like basically clipping away at the hard gel, and typically yeah that piece just kind of came off. It's pretty good at coming off without like ripping away any of the like underwork that you did, the underpainting, I guess. um she was a little ugly, but she looked good. I think yeah, I see it in the preview. I like kind of buffed it a little bit, but not too much because I didn't want to buff away some of the chrome, because it was just sitting on top, but I was just trying to buff away some of that hard gel, but not too much. I did end up doing a top coat just to kind of smooth everything out and help bring this nail back to life without having to completely start over. So I did top coat and then I filed, and now she's looking a little bit better. So I decided to go for a new design. I wanted to kind of stick close to what I had on my iPad, but I was going just a little bit different. I ended up doing these little dollops that I dragged out. I used a lot less product and it kind of worked out a little bit better, but I did two little globs of gel um, going towards the bottom of the nail. I don't know if that just made sense. I did two little globs and then I pulled them using my brush towards the bottom of the nail, and I started getting this kind of. Oh, I guess I tried over because that was still too much. Okay, yeah, I'm like using so little product right here and just pulling it towards the center. And I did that on the other side too. And basically just stuck with that and built it up till it was nice and even and had a good texture, and then cured it, and we'll see what I did next. Going in on the second layer, using a little bit more, feeling a little bit more confident with it. Yeah, I don't know, this one was a little tricky, but take a deep breath, girl. Take a break and come back, and it'll be okay. See, I'm kind of keeping the same idea, a similar idea. I wanted those little 3D elements at the bottom and then to have this kind of, I don't know, a swoopy thingy on the top, but it would be symmetrical and it would just look nice. So I'm just using a really thin amount to kind of map out where I want these little top swoops to be. This is what it ended up looking like after I built it up after a few times of curing it in the lamp. And now I'm taking the chrome paint again and just painting on top because I don't know, this nail had given me so much, not trouble, but like stress. I was like, oh my god, can we just get her done? So I'm using the metallic paint and just, oh my god, going so slow, being so careful to to paint this on to avoid any pooling or like, I don't know, spilling, because this stuff is hard to get off when you get it in a place you don't want it. Even just dragging it with the sculpting tool that I like, it leaves like shimmer and glitter on the nail. And also I wanted to paint it because I thought that I could be kind of strategic because I knew that my base shapes, the like gel, the hard gel that I put on, it wasn't oh my god. Oh, my little kitty, she's meowing. I knew that it wasn't completely symmetrical, so I thought that if I painted it, I could kind of paint strategically to make it look symmetrical. Like leave some places unpainted and paint others. That's why I like using the clear gel for this little guy. See, here she is. Um, because you don't have to completely cover it with paint. Because if you use like white hard gel or like, I don't know, like a white putty, you kind of have to cover it with paint or else it sticks out a little bit. But this clear gel, when you put top coat over it, it's completely clear and it just looks really nice. But yeah, here's what it looked like after I painted it. And then I got a little crazy with charms, so I didn't film this part because I did like something different and I didn't like it. But I just did like these stacking rhinestones from big to small. And then I'm taking more clear gel and just doing that same trick to go over top the chrome paint to try to, oh my gosh, to try to keep it shiny. All right, and she made it out the lamp. She was looking good. Here is top coat. I love her. She's cute. I'm happy with how she turned out. I'm glad I waited because if I just tried to keep doing what I was doing, I was gonna fail. And I was just getting pissed. So, take a break sometimes. It's good. It's good for you. But yeah, here she is. She looks great. She looks so cute. This was a nice design. I was just kind of um complimenting the clamshell design by doing this. I just wanted a couple dollops that like meet at the top, but in a curved manner rather than straight like the clamshell. So I'm kind of doing the same thing that I did with the thumb and mapping out first, but starting with those little globs of gel and pulling them up to create the base of the design. Okay, I'm doing the second layer right now, working with a lot more product, just doing some dollops and then cleaning off my brush and dragging it to the top. to kind of thin it out. Once this was looking how I liked it, I just did a top coat similar to what I did on the which was that, the pointer finger, the middle finger, the other chrome nail we did. I'm just doing a top coat so that I can do chrome on top and kind of get rid of all these hard edges and just have this texture coming through the surface once I apply another layer of chrome. And I think here I did just stick with Beetle's top coat because the application of the second layer of chrome was so nice. It looks so good. So yeah, just again, Beetles, she's kind of my queen. She's my girl. She's my diva. Now, using my rhinestone glue, I'm adding some charms. I think I did pearls and rhinestones, diamonds. They look like diamonds to me, but they're just little rhinestones. Once they're laid down in the way that I like, again, just taking the IBD gel to seal everything in and smoothing it out before curing. And now I'm going in with the red cap top coat and applying her because I'm here to seal her in, you know? She's done.
That was the tutorial. I hope it made a little bit of sense. Hopefully I'll get better as time goes on. But yeah, thanks for watching if you did, and I will see you next time. Bye.